some advice, Rockhead. Make sure you get drunk or hit a stick of PCP before you go over there.
Ooh, you saw Alien? Keep shit cool, nigga. Everybody,
yeah. Light your blunts, get your drinks. The show's about to begin. Welcome to the Goose Show. We got Pomona in the building. Talk about the aliens, the government betrayed you. Talk about the flying saucers seeing from the building. Higher than I'm feeling, they look rather appealing. The Goose Show, they abducting the human race. Aliens appearing and moving in outer space. Ancient text mentions I'm sharing wisdom with all, but humans don't be listening, rather start them a war. Fucking off the planet, pollution causing the damage. Chilling in Pomona where homies talking in Spanish. Let the world know about Pomona teaching the mass. Shout out to Kev Mac, on my Bradley and my kids. My wife and two, because they know I'm a survivor. 5 shots couldn't take me down cause I'm a rider. Then was on the ventilator, still I had to rise up. Telling y'all the truth, man, I'm here to remind you. It's only up for me from now to the future. Thanks for your support and I'ma give you what you used to. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding what they demanding. So look out for the aliens, they landing. The Goose Show, we got Pomona in the building. Talk about the aliens, the government treasure. Talk about the flying saucers seeing from the building. Higher than I'm feeling, they look rather appealing. The Goose Show, we got Pomona in the building. Talk about the aliens, the government betrayed you. Talk about the flying saucers seeing from the building. Higher than I'm feeling.
You cannot see it too good but on camera, but it's there. Here's a video.
Calmugarela, canciles eso. Cáelo, cherro, que chica. Cáelo, cherro.
Moments after the video, me and my brother went to go pick up my tools. Then my brother calls me, and he told me shakingly, look behind the forklift. So I look. Keep in mind I'm facing the forklift, and then I see the alien creature. So when I saw it, it was a tall, skinny, lengthy creature. He was a gray, greenish color. And when I looked at it in the eyes, my body just froze. Like the same experience as having sleep paralysis. Keep in mind, I'm staring at him, and I look at his whole body, and he has a weird looking feet and a big face, and eyes, and you can see a big mouth. And I could hear his loud, deep breathing, and I could see his stomach moving. He would just stare at me. Seconds later, I could start moving again.
Welcome to the Goob Show. I am Goob, Pomona representative on these YouTube streets. I got a good show here today. We're going to get into this whistleblower. That right there was the actual video of the dude with a UFO landed in his backyard. For all those that do come in, I'm gonna keep adding this. Stay here. I got a story of something that happened to me recently within the last week or so. Well, 2 weeks. My nigga Low come on here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. We both seen it. We don't know what we've seen. It all comes back to what these cats seen in their backyard. There's something different happening. Whether people want to believe it or not. Shout out to Prince. You in the AZ? Yeah, hit me up. I put the shit in IG. You know what I'm saying? Black Dog, what's good with you? It all ties to what I've been saying for years. You know, any person that knows me, I've been talking about this shit for years. I came off of, shout out to my nigga Kev Mack, whose show I came off of just because getting clowned. I want to show, hey, this shit is real out here. I don't need to talk about that shit. I don't do it as often. That's why I'm not in the algorithm. I ain't gonna get very many people to come in and see it. Hopefully they'll see it on the replay. But it's nothing more than what I've been saying for years. I didn't get either of these videos I had seen at first. I got them from other people sending them to me. This whistleblower, I hadn't seen it. But it's actually interesting that somebody's coming out and talking about what people have been seeing for years. AAP Variety Channel, I appreciate you. Cheers to you. Shout out to the platform, man. Go, anybody see them, go over there, subscribe to their channel, man. Check them out. But it's been out there, it's been talking. Because no matter how much I used to be in the streets or whatever, my niggas even know, can go back and say, Goob, always been on this same thing. I've been adamant that eventually they're going to have to talk about it. Too many people going to see it. So now shit is coming out. You know, whether you believe that video when you see it, I'm going to show it again. I'm going to break it down and I'm going to show you because maybe you've seen it in the beginning. And you didn't see shit. But if you listen to the youngster, he say, buy the forklift. I'm going to show you where the forklift is and I'm going to show you where the entity comes into the picture. Because if you notice on that video, them motherfuckers got the fuck out of there. Salute King Real. That's my intro. Anybody don't know, when they hear my intro, that's by my nigga King Real. You know, go check him out. Got some hell of music. He did a lot for Kev Mack. He has, you know, did damn near the whole hood. And nigga, you know what I'm saying? What's up with your low? Low up in the building. That's my nigga there. I'm going to get into the story. You know, people that come in, man, stay in here. You're going to hear real close encounter. And I'm going to give people, I'm going to start this show off. I'm going to give you, if you don't know what that is, if you stay in here, I'm going to show you what close encounter me and my nigga Low experienced. That's facts. And we even tell each other, if you would have said that shit and I wasn't there seeing the same thing, I think you crazy as shit. King Real. Here's the thing. I believe they beginning to show themselves to who they want to show themselves to. What me and Lo seen or experienced is they want to show themselves. They probably fear the fear in us against them, but they halfway showed themselves. And I'm gonna tell you, anybody that's a new person coming here, don't leave, because I got a hell of a story, and my nigga got one as well. That's facts. And I'm gonna give you, here's, first of all, I'm gonna break this down to you. I'm gonna break this down to you. This right here is a close encounter of the first kind. Visual sightings of unidentified flying objects seemingly less than 500 feet or 150 millimeters away that show an appreciable angular extension and considerable detail. I've already experienced that. Close encounter of the first kind, I've already experienced that. That's what I spoke of when I was on Kev Mack's show. If you listen to the intro, oh yeah, they was clowning. Oh yeah, it was clowning, but I could accept that fact that we seen something. that flew over. It's not just me, my wife, her best friend, an old lady across the street, and her son. They came right above us out here in Arizona. That was the first one. And if people see and know they've seen it, that's what the first close encounter of the first kind. If you see something close enough to visually say, oh, that ain't no motherfucking airplane. That ain't no whole fucking balloon. That's something that's out of this planet. That's the first one. This is the second one. Close encounter of the second kind. A UFO event in which a physically effect is alleged. This can be interference in the functioning of a vehicle or electronic device. Now, if anybody goes back to a Kev Max show, when the clowning, where we got that intro from, the jokes and the laugh were because I said when I was trying to video it, it shut my phone down. It shut my phone down. Oh, they couldn't believe that. That was the joke of it. I roll with it. But is animals reacting of physiological effects such as paralysis or heat or discomfort in a witness of some physical trace like impressions in the ground, scorched or otherwise affected vegetation or chemical trace? That's a close encounter of the second kind. Well, I've already had that one as well. I've had the close encounter of the first kind, and I've had the close encounter of the second kind. That's facts. Now, here's what got me really freaked out and tripped out, and this has to do with the homie Low. Because he was here with me when the close encounter of the third kind partially came to an end. And that's facts, homie. Close encounter of the third kind, UFO encounters in which an animated entity is present. This includes humanoids, robots, or humans seen to occupy or pilots of a UFO. The first part is what I take. Animated entity is present. That part is the part that me and Lo experience. That's facts. And that's why I brought those up and put those up so that people know these people just had a close encounter of the third to fourth kind. Youngster in his back, in their backyard. And I'm going to show you where the little entity, because I've had the video for a couple hours to go over it. The video's only been out maybe 3 hours. I think when I got it, it was hour or something. Oh, when he first put it out. But I broke it down where you could see the entity in the picture from his description of being behind the forklift. But the thing of it is as long as we talk about it, people ain't going to believe you and think you crazy until they see it themselves. That's for real. Until people start talking about it. But this right here is with the whistleblower. The whistleblower is bringing out some of the government shit that some of these presidents was reluctant to say, but they kind of brought it out just a little bit. They ain't said too much. Obama didn't say too much. If I'm not mistaken, Reagan is the only one that really appropriately went out and said, hey, I seen some shit. But he ain't said nothing about what they have and they classify. This is what this dude is talking about, and I'm going to run this tape.
Whistleblower. UFO wreckage covered by the U.S. kept classified by a secret government program for a world on Newsnight list, earning your trust every night.
My bad.
UFOs UFOs exist. The U.S. government found quite a number of them, and they are indeed of non-human origin. Those are the explosive allegations from a former intelligence officer tonight in a whistleblower complaint that the Inspector General is taking very seriously. 36-year-old Air Force veteran David Grush is exposing what he calls a top-secret military program that has reportedly found wreckage of fully intact UFOs. The government now calls them UAPs, or unidentified anomalous phenomena. For years, there have been whispers and rumors that the government had aircraft of non-human origin. This report is the...
But people have been saying that for years. If you're a believer in UFO, you got to understand where we get this technology we got now. Shit, I'm only 57. I didn't have that shit, none of this technology back in my teens, and that's what, 40 years ago? But we gained a whole lot of technology in 40 years. But they say, we never reversed technology. We never got it from somewhere else. Our scientists are just that smart to just come up with it in the air. Or they just sweep it under the rug. Nobody asks any questions. Nobody says, how did you get the knowledge to make a video game? From ping pong up to what we have now. So, they've been reverse technology years ago.
First evidence it might be true. The Inspector General has called Grush's complaint urgent and credible. Tonight, we have a World Television exclusive interview with the whistleblower in which he claims we not only have the aircraft, but the government has been keeping much of it secret from Congress and from the public. News Nation senior national correspondent Brian Enton is here with the story, and this is a blockbuster.
It is a blockbuster. It's really hard to wrap your mind around this. I've been working on this for the past couple of weeks. I'm still having a hard time processing all of it. All over the last couple of years, it sort of became mainstream to discuss UFOs. The government has released videos. They've acknowledged that we don't know what some of this stuff is out there that we have on camera, but this really takes it all to another level. For the very first time, the world is about to hear from a former high-level U.S. intelligence officer who says the government has some of the unidentified craft in its possession. He is revealing these exclusive details about the secret government program.
We're all going against the wind.
Wouldn't most people, let me pause this for a second. Wouldn't most people think that's what Area 51 is for? Or do we just think that's just an Air Force base? We're knowing that it's secrets there. I think if it's a few people that came out and kind of said it, where dude is just coming off and saying it and giving it to the Senate to make them, it's slow. It's expose more than what y'all talking about. Tell the people more instead of trying to hide it, because that's what they're doing. They just hide from us. The thing about these two videos right here is that's what they pick to show us and say, well, it's something out there, but there's no visible. You can't tell what that is. Basically, it's moving so fast, we know it's not a rocket, but they just don't know what it is. So now that's why they started calling them UAPs instead of UFOs. Because now it's an aerial phenomenon. That's what they call it now. Aerial phenomenon. Because they don't know what it is, even though they know what it is.
We have all seen these blurry videos of unidentified flying objects. Video evidence, if you will, that old tales of UFOs may not all be conspiracy theories. In recent years, Congress starting an official U.S. government Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, recently renamed the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO. And now in a News Nation exclusive, David Grush, an Air Force veteran, former member of that task force, and veteran of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, is formally blowing the whistle on secrets he says no one has ever shared publicly before.
You are one of the most trusted former intelligence officials in the U.S. defense and intelligence establishment.
Yes, I was.
You were trusted with the most intimate secrets.
Yes.
Grush sitting down with award-winning investigative journalist Ross Coulthart, who's reporting for News Nation and has spent years reporting on the UFO question.
What conclusion did you come to at the end of your time on the UAP task force?
The UAP task force was refused access to a broad crash retrieval program.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
He's straight out saying that, which a lot of people, those that's believer in UFOs, they believe that we've had some. Roswell wasn't just a fluke, wasn't a lie, wasn't a weather balloon. They covered that all the way up. But there's so many more. You gotta imagine if they come in here at that rate of speed and doing what they doing, just like our planes or anything else, cars, they gonna crash eventually. So you had to expect some eventually crashed on here. The crazy thing is when they talk about these things are piloted.
How many?
Quite a number.
You're kidding.
No. I thought it was totally nuts, and I thought at first I was being deceived. It was a ruse. People started confiding in me. They approached me. I have plenty of current officers that came to me, part of a program. They named the program. I've never heard of it. And they told me, based on their oral testimony, and they provided me documents and other proof, that there was, in fact, a program that the UAP task force was not read into.
Grush alleges the U.S. government has recovered non-human craft for decades. He's filed a whistleblower complaint saying he gave what he calls the classified proof to Congress and the Intelligence Community Inspector General. News Nation has confirmed David Grush's credentials and resume. We've not seen or verified the alleged proof he says he's provided to investigators. He says he can't show us the proof for national security reasons. He also tells us he's not seen photos of the alleged craft himself, but has talked extensively with other intelligence officials who have.
If you're right,
I wonder if he talked to other intelligence officials, did they know that this is what he was going to do? He was going to be a whistleblower and tell and give up all the evidence. Because eventually he's going to have to name names. That's why it's classified. He's going to have to name names of the people that he talked to that said they see and whatnot. I don't know what's going on with my internet on my live, but he's going to have to spill the beans, which he probably already did in paperwork of the people that he talked to, since he ain't visually seen it. But they checked his record out.
If you're telling us the truth,
put himself in jeopardy and his job.
Everyone, the entire American public, has been lied to for decades.
Yeah, there's a sophisticated disinformation campaign targeting the U.S. populace, which is extremely unethical and immoral.
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone. Absolutely, that means empirically that we're not alone, yeah.
Do we have bodies? Do we have species of
Well, naturally, when you recover something that's either landed or crashed, sometimes you encounter dead pilots. And believe it or not, as fantastical as that sounds, it's true.
It's also harder for people to wrap their minds around the concept of a crash.
See, he said that shit. He said that. All these orbs that we seeing, they may or may not be occupied. But there's some shit that's up in there that's being occupied. And they, of course, they're gonna have I don't know if anybody's seen what's his name? Something Bob. Somebody will come up with it. But they talk about alien years ago. Remember they had the alien autopsy and all that? They were just trying to ease it in. But they was never going to tell us if they really had an alien or something. But now, dude is exposing that. And he don't have no reason to lie.
Object from somewhere else. It's easier to accept that, yeah, we see things in the sky that we can't explain.
Journalist Leslie Kane broke Rush's whistleblower story this morning in the debrief. Ms. Kane's career has been mainstream and credible, having written a series of reports on UFOs in the New York Times dating back to 2017. He has the credentials, but there's no documents he's handed over. There's no pictures. And as a journalist, you want to see documents, you want to see pictures. Does that raise a red flag?
Not at all, Brian. I mean, you mean documents that actually describe the craft?
Correct, yeah, like government documents, or to be able to see it for ourselves.
Of course, don't we all want that? And the problem with that is all of that information is classified. You know, as we said in the story, everything that Grush told Congress and told the Inspector General of both the IC, the Intelligence Community Inspector General, and the Department of Defense Inspector General, all of that information is classified.
In 2017, Kane reported exclusively in the New York Times that the Pentagon had a secret UFO program. 3 years later, the Pentagon confirmed her story. Her latest report is even more explosive, but Kane says she has multiple sources who back up Grush's story.
I believe it because of all the sources I have who have told me the same thing. So who am I to doubt these very, very high-level people who have been inside these programs for decades, have done their work, and are all telling me the same thing? I mean, I don't think there's some kind of conspiracy among all these people who don't know each other to make something like this up.
So I've got to be blunt about this. You're not making this up. This is not a lie.
No, absolutely not.
Because everybody watching this right now is looking at your face. They're going, is this guy for real?
I am for real. And I'm sitting here at great personal risk and obvious professional risk by talking to you today.
And just within the last 10 minutes or so, the Pentagon has released a statement to News Nation about...
And see, it took the Pentagon a minute to respond to dude. Of course, they was going to respond, but I can continue to play the video. The lady is basically going to say, one of the newscasters, the AA or whatever, well, I'll let them say it. The channel that the dude is talking about that's hidden ain't telling the Department of Defense. They're not telling nobody because it's all classified under their organization. Because they don't want to tell nobody what's going on.
About this report, they say to date, heard any verifiable information to substantiate claims that any programs regarding the possession or reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials have existed in the past or exist currently. Arrow is committed to following the data and its investigation wherever it leads. Arrow, working with the Office of the General Counsel and the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, has established a safe and secure process for individuals to come forward with information to aid Arrow in its congressionally mandated historical review. Arrow's historical review of records and testimonies is ongoing and due to Congress by June 2024, and Arrow welcomes the opportunity to speak with a former or current employee or contractor who believes they have information relevant to this historical review. And Elizabeth, we know that David Grush, he's filed that whistleblower complaint. He's been on the record under oath, testifying to many of these things that he said in our report tonight.
Right, and it's important to point out that this statement from the Pentagon, from Arrow, Grush is alleging that this top secret program is keeping it a secret from Arrow. So.
Yeah, exactly. And if Gresh is,
and that's the point. So this top secret organization is keeping it away from Arrow. So Arrow not gonna know about it. So they just talking. They're just saying we're gonna investigate this and find out how. If they gonna keep it from you. But the whistleblower is finally bringing out something that's been hidden from the population for years. But now the shit is starting to come out. It's starting to come out a little bit more. This occurrence that's coming up next. This was a youngster called 911. Some kind of entity or whatever went in his backyard, and then he actually put the video up of him and his brothers, and it looked like his dad and I think his mom come out the back door after it's over. But you can hear them. They slowed it down for whatever reason because they was hollering. You can hear them whenever they seen whatever, and I'm gonna show you. And when I slow down the picture and all that, I'm gonna show you where this entity is behind this forklift, because you really can't see it. You have to really look. Let me see if
what he's saying is true. You know, the spokespeople, all of those folks at that level wouldn't even know this was going on anyway.
All right, I got to ask you. You know, he has a compelling story to tell. Very little of it seems firsthand knowledge. Isn't he just repeating what somebody else has told him or somebody else has showed him?
Yes, that is what he's doing, but he says he's talked to a number of people who are in very, very high level positions. He also had basically the highest level of classified material information that he was able to receive. We went back and checked over, you know, his history, all of his credentials, check out completely. Unfortunately,
in addition, a couple people have come forward publicly to vouch for him, people who are high ranking.
They have. And this article first came out this morning, and I think it's interesting that, you know, there hasn't been any sort of effort to discredit what he has said, either from the Defense Department.
So interesting. So what happens, you know, and have we had any reaction, by the way, from members of Congress who have been taking this seriously in the last couple of years? We've seen congressional hearings. We've seen NASA's hearing just about a week ago on UFOs or UAPs, whatever you prefer to call them. We've seen the DNI give a briefing to the White House on this. When we've been hearing whispers and rumors for years, I remember even former President Trump, when he was in office, sort of saying, "Oh my gosh, if you knew what I knew about UFOs." Yeah. So there's always been this intrigue.
There has, and think about it, Elizabeth, if you go back 15 or 20 years, if we were sitting here talking about UFOs, people would think that we were nutty. Now it's got...
Shit. It ain't 15 or 20 years. That shit still occur today. If you talk about UFOs or if you interested in it, nigga, you crazy. That's what most people think until they see it themselves. That's why I tell everybody, man, look up. Whenever you get some time, you relaxing, you outside, man, look up at the sky. You ain't got to look all around and look at people's face asses and all that shit. Nigga, look up. Take some time, hit your shit and look up. Eventually you're going to see something because we never do it. Barely do you ever look the fuck up in the sky. The shit run past you already. But take 20, 30 minutes to meditate and look in the sky. I guarantee you'll see something. Facts.
To the level of where it is somewhat accepted because the government has come forward to a certain extent and acknowledged that there are these videos that exist. The Navy has...
Everybody will be talking about. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Denise Valdez.
I'm Brian.
Now this here is the 911 call of the dude seeing what he's seen in his backyard. I mean, when you get a 911 call, it is kind of hard to believe that the shit is really happening. But you got to listen to the police that's getting a call to go to the call, because they actually see it. He sees it himself coming down from the sky. And then 2 or 3 minutes later, they get this call that something's in somebody's backyard. Shit is crazy. But it's trending. It's all over Instagram, Reddit. You know what I'm saying? Eventually going to be on YouTube, all that. And then now he has the video. To show proof. Let's check this out.
Loftus, a family says something crashed into their backyard, prompting them to call 911, saying they saw creatures walking around.
Our 8 News Now investigators digging into this for weeks now, and tonight our David Charnes with the video you will only see on 8 News Now. David?
Right, Denise, sources telling the 8 News Now investigators that several agencies believe something landed or crashed. Whether it was non-humans or not, it certainly scared the people living on this property. Now, before we show you that video, listen to their call for help.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually weird. We're terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
Well, the 8 News Now investigators obtaining video as officers then respond.
Now that's the 911 call. You got to wait and see how the police react when everything's put together. Because they even flipped out. But I'm gonna show you something. When they say police don't come to the hood for hours, it might take them 2 or 3 hours, whatever. Here might be why.
To the call you just heard, you'll see the officers also saw something in the sky that night, but the big question is, what was it, and is it all connected?
Leave her alone.
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
911 emergency.
Minutes later,
there's like an 8-foot.
Hold on. Now you got that point. Minutes later, after that fell out the sky, the officer seen it, you know what I'm saying, and think shit of it or whatever. Within minutes, these dudes make this 911 call after this officer sees it. Watch this.
Person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Someone calls 911 reporting 2 large figures in their backyard.
No, I'm so nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. Everyone saw a shooting star. Then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
You hear him? That motherfucker like, shit, I just got the call to go to that house. Man, I just seen a shooting star. And they say it's aliens in their backyard. You think that motherfucker really want to go to that scene? We'll see. We'll see.
By now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers.
An hour. When they get to these people, these are the people that made the 911 call and said all that. It took them an hour to get to their house. So dude that got that call minutes after that object fell from the sky, he wasn't going there by himself. That's why multiple ones that's there. Because he wasn't going. He already said, shit, I got butterflies. These motherfuckers said they just see some 9-foot creatures. Yeah, I ain't going to fuck with that right now. Nah, I'm gonna let that go.
Meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard? Or?
They see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro blacked out that part of the video because it's considered private property. What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this
that private property, dude makes a video. There's actually a video that's out that'll be going around. You'll be seeing it real soon, probably everywhere. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't already seen it, because he just posted it maybe 3-4 hours ago. And he'll show his backyard and it'll show right where it's at. And I'm gonna break it down to you.
might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
Normally discounted as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
That investigation turning up no concrete answers as of Wednesday. Whatever or whoever fell into that yard, long gone within minutes.
Oh, hey, if those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So that's probably the same one that got that call and wasn't going to go fuck with that call. Because he was good to joke about that shit. If some 9-foot things come, don't call us. Yeah, because you wasn't going anyway. It took you an hour to get there. Y'all must have posted up somewhere tried to figure out what we gonna do. There's some shit. I seen some shit fall out the sky. That's what fucked them up, because they actually seen the shit fall out the sky. And then minutes later, this dude calls and said, man, there's some 9-foot entities or aliens or whatever in my backyard. So that's why that cop wasn't going there.
Yeah, this is quite weird, Brian was saying as we're watching this story. Now, we've been in contact with the family in that video, and as you heard in that 911 call, they seem very reasonable and honestly quite scared as you heard them in the call. No, they don't seem impaired in any way, and whatever crashed by the time that police got there was gone, but sources say that there's really no dispute. Something was in their yard. Exactly what, we do not know.
I mean, it's so interesting.
So we got that point. They did the 911 call. You've seen the police go in there. You've seen the body cam of everything. From the police officer, the shit falling from the sky, him scared as shit to go to the scene of where he's seen that shit fall, because he got the call 2 minutes to 5 minutes after dude called the 911 call, which was minutes later. So it couldn't have been no more than 5-10 minutes at the most. When the interview go back, it took them an hour to get to that house because dude wasn't going there. Now, even to make it more believable, the youngsters got a video and you can see his whole family in there. You can see them break. Whatever they seen, they broke. And I'm going to show you what they seen, because it's real weird how you can see it. So I'm gonna start
in the backyard area. You cannot see it too good on camera, but it's there. Here's a video.
And that's not my lie. That's their camera. They slowed down. Listen though, them niggas is hollering. Slow motion. They slowed that up because them niggas was probably hollering more than that. You see how slow it was then, and it got fast. They slowed it down because them niggas was hollering, which most people would.
Cáelo, Cherro.
After they see it.
Moments after the video, me and my brother went to go pick up my tools. Then my brother calls me, and he told me shakingly, look behind the forklift. So I look. Keep in mind, I'm facing the forklift, and then I see the alien creature. So when I saw it, it was a tall, skinny, lengthy creature. He was a gray, greenish color, and when I looked at it in the eyes, my body just froze. Like the same experience as having sleep paralysis. Keep in mind, I'm staring at him, and I look at his whole body, and he has a weird-looking feet and a big face, and eyes, and you see a big mouth. And I could hear his loud, deep breathing, and I could see his stomach moving. He would just stare at me. Seconds later, I could start moving again.
Now here, I'm finna break it down. I want you to look at this red circle that I got here. If you look right here in the middle, you'll see something at the fence is real slight eye. See it come from the fence? You can see their heads are looking directly at it. When he says a forklift, if you see this greenish thing, that's the forklift. If I move this red circle, you'll see that it has the metal in the back that goes up to the top. Anybody that's ever rode a forklift, like I have, so if it's a rollover, you won't get crushed. So it's a top bar across it. That's where it's at. But if you see the eyes come from there, and then they break. Slow it down. See the eyes? It's right in the center. Right there. You'll see it's moving. Look at their heads. They're looking directly at it. That's the forklift that he's talking about. It's behind the forklift. And you see it's moving with the circle. Before they break, they turn and break. Look again, right there. See it come from on the side of this little wood plaque? It's coming out. Look at all their heads. They're looking directly at it. That's why they break. When it comes out, they break. See, it's coming out. See it bigger? Now you can see the eyes. Right there. It's white as shit. And then it's moving across. The camera breaks, they break out. See it? It's moving. Oh, they breaking. Because it's moving, they moving. Simple as that. That's the video, and that's what they seen. Shout out to everybody that came through. Hey, Lo, if you're still in here, I want to get into that close encounter of the third kind we had, my brother. You know what I'm saying? And that story is real weird. Like I said, I've seen something over my head. That's the close encounter of the first kind. Second, it disturbed my video that I was trying to record it. That's the second time. This third time, yeah, I'm going to have to let my buddy come in. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to chop it up for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Hey, hit that link right here. Hello? That I put right up under you. We're going to get into this story because we never figured out what we seen. Something was trying to show us what they were or whatever. And that's the only thing I can really say about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I can. Whatever it was trying to show us. They was here. I'll just say it like that. And it'll sound crazy. And like I said, if it wasn't for the homie being in there and vice versa, I wouldn't believe if he said, man, I just seen some shit hit the ground, go up under your lounging chair. Because that's what we see. My nigga Low, what's good with you?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, what's good with you?
I'm listening to you, Goo. It's some strange shit going on out here.
Yeah, hey. You see the whistleblower? You see the shit in Vegas?
Yeah, I'm checking that out.
Is it?
I was checking it out.
Echoing?
Yeah, I was trying, maybe because I had my speaker on. I don't know if
Oh
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
my
If you got both of them on.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just got a little. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Cool. You good. You good. You real good.
Okay, it's just a little delay. Hey, so let's get
Yo.
into that crazy shit we seen in here in my garage.
Well, like I heard you mention it earlier, Goo. If I wouldn't have seen this shit with my eyes, I'd have told you was crazy than a motherfucker, man. But I seen it. So when I came over to visit my man's, that table right there he's sitting at, he was standing directly where he's sitting at right now. I was right on the other side of the table, you know, so we, what's up, bro? What's happening? He goes to throw a pound to me. I go to shake his hand, and something jumps from the table. I seen it come from under the table. It was a big round ball. It was black like this. It looked like a torso. I didn't see no head, no legs, no tails. So I was like, you know, I looked at it. Then I turned to him before I can even say anything. He was like, what the fuck was that? And I was like, nigga, I thought that was your dog or a cat or some shit. You know, I don't know what that shit was. So now we both in the garage. We standing around looking. So he grabs the leaf blower. I said, fuck that. Excuse my French. You know, I don't know how this shit go, but I was like, shit, I'm going outside the garage.
Hey, you good?
So I goes and get in my truck. My truck is lifted. So I opens the door and I'm looking on top of his cars, and I never seen nothing come out the garage. He's steady blowing it with the leaf blower, blowing back over there in the corner. So I'm like, man, what the fuck? So I got this eerie feeling when I first seen it. I didn't know what it was. But if you wouldn't have seen it, I'd have thought, okay, so I'm tripping. I seen some shit out the corner of my eye, but I actually seen it. Because I actually almost jumped when I seen it. And to the day,
that's the crazy part about it.
That's the crazy shit about it. And then on top of that, with your wife came talking about they coming to get you, Goo. Remember, I was saying the same shit. I said, see, you fucking with them UFOs, them motherfuckers coming to get your ass. And we laughing and joking about it, but to the day, we still don't know what that was. And I still don't know what the fuck that was, man. I don't know, man. I'm baffled.
Hey.
I'm really baffled.
Listen,
I'm baffled.
What's so crazy is, to this day, I'm still baffled. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm still. So, you know, I just do my. That's why I tell people I hadn't did my show in a minute, because, nigga, I was fucked up about this goddamn garage, homie. But, you know, I spoke to somebody else, and when they want to show themselves, they gonna show themselves to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Listen, if you there, you know, my thing is that I still have the fear in me of seeing something different, right? So they may say, well, we can't show ourselves fully to him because this nigga may have a heart attack or some shit like that.
Right, because I was
you know
almost at that point, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was at that
Yeah,
point
that's
to
what,
where my
that's what I'm
heart was
saying. So
beating
that's why
so
they
bad.
partially.
That's crazy, bro. And we still don't
Right.
know what that was to the day. Still don't know. But see, this ain't my first encounter.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. I'm finna try to change. I'm finna try to change my mic because it seems like we got an echo.
Oh, okay. Now I can hear you clear on my side.
I know, but it's just I'm coming out late. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you as you talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Am I being delayed?
Yeah, I was
Because
trying to get that. No, I think I'm delayed.
I think because I'm hearing it come out of my computer, it's coming out a little later after I'm speaking it. But your voice is clear. When you
No,
speak, I can hear. Yeah, I can hear everything you're saying.
I know, but I think we both on a delay. Hey, what was you saying about this ain't your first experience?
This ain't my first encounter with some shit like this. Now I done had a encounter.
Hey, listen.
Before.
Is
Go
this
ahead.
us? Is this you? Have you had this? Have you had
Yes.
that?
Yes. Right there. Right there. Twice. One time on I-10,
Right.
I was coming from Avondale, and it was maybe about 6 or 7 in the evening. It was still daylight, kind of daylight out. So I'm coming across the bridge right there where the state fair is at, and I look over to my left. Now I'm like in the middle lane. It was another car right on the left side of me. I look over to the left. There's a bright green light coming straight for the car, and it just took off and shot in the other direction. The car that was on side of me, I looked at him. He looked at me. He slammed on his brakes. I slammed on my brakes. So both of us looking at each other like, man, what the fuck was that? You know, but it took off. So I said, okay, that was a UFO, because we don't have shit that fly like that. I'd have been in the military. I've seen a lot of shit in the military, but we don't have shit that fly the way that green light came towards me. That was another encounter. One day now, you know, I only been out here. I'm coming from I-10, coming out to Maricopa, and that's the 347. Now it's dark outside. My son is maybe a mile ahead of me in the car. He got my grandkids in the car with him. So we headed out here. I calls his phone. I say, did you see that? He said, yeah, I see it. It was the same green light. The same green light. It was coming down 347, and it just took off and went in the opposite direction once again. So I'm telling my son, like, damn, he said, I was just ready to pick the phone up and call you, Dad. My grandson was like, I seen it. It was a green light. He in the car. Everybody seen it because that's how close it came. You know, looked like it came down to the road. Looked like it was about to land, but it just took back off. Shot off. That was another encounter I had. Now, this encounter I had, this was back in 19.
You know what? Hey,
listen.
Hey, listen. I remember when I first came to your 4th of July, you was doing the fireworks, and I met your mom.
Right,
and
she
crazy
had a lot of
documentation. That before I even
you started even
look,
it.
And I wish I would have. Hey, I wish I would have recorded her when I was talking to her.
When
you know what I'm saying? Because she was telling me some shit, and I remember. What's so crazy is I hadn't even started this platform yet. I was talking about starting it, and I was like, I want to talk about UFOs and shit like that. And she was like, well, I could tell you a whole bunch of, you know what I'm saying? They've been following me since I was out here. I was
you
like,
and her
what?
had that conversation, she would always tell me, I've seen another UFO tonight over here in the field. You know me, I'm taking it lightly, but you know, a lot of times she was recording a lot of that shit too. And she was like, in fact, you know, because she transitioned on my birthday, so I still have her phones. I just don't know how to go in there. Yeah, I just don't know how to go in there and pull out the footage that she had, but you know, I got access to all of it. So that's something else I need to do as far as sending it back over to you, because I don't think she quite sent you everything that she had. She did send a lot of, you know.
No, she only said I only got like two. I only got two videos, something like that.
Yeah, I know she
You know what
only
I'm
sent
saying?
you a couple
And
of, but she had a lot of
it
stuff.
is yeah, because I don't know how to transform. I don't know how to transform them over to downloading them on YouTube or putting them into my my files. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason,
And
they
see,
won't download. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
That's the
So
other
I got
thing
to
with
figure
me. I
that
don't
out.
know how to
So
do that
you've
shit
already
either.
had. So you already had the first close encounter.
Right. And then, okay, well, I say one that
So
happened
you
back
had
in
this?
Let me see, UFO, I mean, what is
Have
the
you had
physical effect?
that one?
That's another one. That's another one. Function of a vehicle.
Listen.
Yep. That's
So
another one.
what I'm breaking down to you, hey, listen, what I'm breaking down to you is I've had the first one when they came right over us with my wife, her friend, the lady across the street. We all
Across
seen
the
them
street.
in
I remember
Arizona.
you telling me.
That was the
Yeah,
first
I
one.
remember you telling me that.
Yes. So I've had the second one because the whole joke from Kev Mack in that industry was that it turned off my phone. I couldn't record it, right? So a UFO event in which a physical effect is alleged, this can be interference in the functioning of a vehicle or electronic device.
Right.
So I've
right.
had that second one.
And another thing that I noticed that's up
You
there,
see what I'm
the
saying?
little dude was just saying he was in a state of paralysis, like he was, you know, paralyzed for a second.
Exactly.
If you pay attention, he said that, and that's up
he had
as
them
well.
all at the same time, though.
Right.
Yeah, he had them all at the same time. He had close encounters of the third kind, the first one, the second one, and the third one, all at the same time.
Well, okay,
You see
let
what I'm
me
saying? Because
explain
here
this
go
one
our
to you.
third one.
Now, when we seen that image that we seen, whatever that entity was in your garage, it brought back memories of me being at the Army base. Anybody that knows anything about Fort Knox, I was stationed at Fort Knox, Kentucky. And there's a long road that goes from Fort Knox to Louisville, down to Louisville, you know, because we would go down there and party, and that's what we, you know, we get it on out there. So it's about 3 in the morning. I'm on my way back from Louisville. I see an image, and I thought it was a person. And the motherfucker stepped in front of my car, and I hit it. And I had damage to my car. I thought I had hit a guy. So I pulled over. I looked at the front of the car, seen the light was cracked. My turn signal on the right side was cracked because it was like he stepped off the road and into the car. Dude, there wasn't nobody out there.
Right.
It was no one out there. So I went back to the base. I'm telling everybody about it. They, man, you tripping, Chef, your ass on some shit. You know, back then we drinking and shit, smoking weed. They, man, your ass on one, man. You tripping. I'm like, motherfucker, go look at my car. My car out there in the parking lot is damaged. So I actually turned the car around right where I hit this, whatever it was I hit. I shined the lights out in the road. I mean, out in the field. Because on both sides of the road, it's just open field. There's nothing there. No houses, no nothing. Open fields. It was nothing in the field, nothing nowhere. So that, you know, kind of always baffled me. That brought back memories to that shit that was in your garage, whatever that was. Because if that was something in that garage, it would have ran out. When you start blowing that leaf blower, And even we went in there and turned the chairs and shit over. It still couldn't find nothing in that motherfucker. So I'm like, no, it's something that
here's,
was
you know what I
shit.
tell, what I've been saying though. What I've been saying is, we seen the same thing. We just see all three aspects different.
Right.
You know what I'm
right.
saying? I seen it as coming off the top of the table and going up under the side of the
Under that
lounge
table,
chair.
because you got another table sitting there. It jumped off that other table because I'm looking. Remember, I was facing towards you. You facing towards me. So it kind of looked like it might have looked like it jumped off the table, but I looked right at the motherfucker because I almost jumped until I looked at you, and you was like, "What the fuck was that?" And I said, I thought that was your dog or your cat or something. Remember me saying that? I was like, I thought that was your dog or cat. And you was like, hell no, homie, that ain't my motherfucking dog nor cat. I don't have no cat. That's what you said. And that's when my heart just started beating real fast. I could tell if it was something, it had to be something. Because my shit still, you know, when I started thinking about this shit, my heart racing down. It had to be something, but I don't know what it was. And it was in a physical form. It was a big.
What the fuck? Hey, what's the crazy part?
Ball.
You know what's funny as shit? Hey, you know what's funny as shit? Is what I said. Hey, man, you go ahead. Hey, Goob, I'm out, man. It's your house.
Right. I was like, man, I ain't fucking with you, Goob. You in here communicating with these motherfuckers. You know, I'm like, shit. Nah, Goob, I'm out. And even remember, your wife said she seen me on the camera standing on top of the truck. And I was like, yeah, because I wanted to see was something going to run out the garage. I wasn't going back over there. Right then and then. I ain't scared of shit.
She kept saying.
But that shit there, that's some shit not to fuck with, man. I ain't fucking with it. I ain't fucking with it, dude.
My wife, when she see you on the truck in the camera, and you said it was about this big. She kept saying because she couldn't see how far your hands was, and she was like, "How big was what?" I say, "We don't fucking know." She was like, "Is it a snake?" No, it ain't no snake. We don't know what the fuck that shit was. You know what I'm saying?
It was big as a car, so the motherfucker had to be about this big around, and it was about like this long. Yeah, so to me, it looked like a cat, a dog, but I never seen a head. I never seen tails. I never seen any legs on it. The
never seen no.
There. And I said, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that shit was crazy, man.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. And if you wouldn't have seen. If you would have told me you seen that shit, I said this nigga in here tripping for real. But I actually seen it with my own eyes.
Right.
I seen it with my own eyes. And to the day, I'm still baffled.
And but hey, what's so crazy is we don't know what we seen with our own eyes.
No, we don't. But it was in physical form, whatever it was. Because I wouldn't see you seen it. We both seen it going the same direction. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. I can't say, go, what the fuck that was.
Hey, so I'm gonna play this youngster's video again. Have you ever seen what an entity? Do you see in the video what an entity is?
Yeah, I seen it. I seen it when I looked at the video earlier. I had to like pause it and I was looking. I said, "Oh, I see the two eyes," and then you just really brought it more to my attention. You was like, "Look over there by the wood." Yeah, and I seen it because
you cannot see it too good, but on camera, but it's there. Here's a video.
Huh? You know what a forklift look like?
Right.
So when dude tells this story, hey, but you know what? What's the trip is? They slowed this video down because they was hollering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, they was screaming like, "Oh, what the?" You know what I'm saying? It tripped them the fuck out. That's why whoever had the camera, he broke. Nigga, eyes
you
came
see
out.
him drop
That
the camera down
gone.
and he turned. Yeah, I would have been gone too. Shit.
Yeah, he turned. Yeah, let's play this shit. Let's look at this shit before I go.
video when we were in the backyard area. You cannot see it too good, but on camera, but it's there. Here's a video.
See, it comes out right there. That's why they back it up like, oh, them niggas back the fuck out, and they hollering.
I don't blame.
Look, they had to go get a double take though after they broke. Look, they out. Hey, and then they speed it up. No, wait,
on camera, but it's there.
I fucked up. Hey, and then when they speed it up, is when the mama come out the house.
Right.
Hold on. You hear him hollering, and then the mama come out. Some niggas gone. Oh shit! Somebody hollering. That's why they slowed that down.
Right.
Right now. They still looking at him, but they ain't looking at him. Dude closed the gate. Like
Moments after the video, me and my brother went to go pick up my tools.
You see, dude closed the gate. Like fuck that. And that's when that's when they went and made the 911 call.
Yeah.
Then my brother calls me, and he told me shakingly, look behind the forklift. So I look.
I'll go out there.
Huh? Hey.
I said I was listening to them cops like y'all go out there. Fuck with me.
Hey, yeah, because dude, when they got the call, it was only a couple minutes after dude reported. And dude was like, man, I got butterflies. Them motherfuckers didn't get there for an hour.
Would you go out there if you got a 40
Keep in mind, I'm facing the forklift.
They got ray guns. Them motherfuckers got guns and shit they can shoot your ass with. I ain't fucking with them neither. Shit. That's what scared me about being in your garage.
And then I see the alien creature. So when I saw it, it was a tall, skinny, lengthy creature. He was a gray, greenish color. And when I looked at it in the eyes, my body just froze. Like the same experience as having sleep paralysis. Keep in mind, I'm staring at him, and I look at his whole body, and he has a weird-looking feet and a big face, and eyes, and you can see a big mouth.
Hey, he ain't on no PCP,
I could hear his loud, deep breathing, and I could see his stomach moving.
He ain't on no PCP.
He ain't on no PCP.
No,
that nigga's. Hey, he trying to explain what he saw, and he clearly see it in the video, though. That's what's crazy.
He would just stare at me. Seconds later, I could start moving again.
Down. Right there. So I put a circle around it.
Yeah,
I see the eyes right by this board.
Right by the board, right
there. The motherfuckers come out right there. That's when they start breaking. Right there, them motherfuckers out. The eyes coming around that corner. Nigga, they out. The motherfucker come right there.
Yeah.
You understand? And you can see the forklift clearly. If you know about a forklift.
Exactly.
All that green shit is the body. And that metal part is the top, the back, the top. So if you roll over, it don't crush your ass. You know what I mean?
I see.
And that motherfucker right behind. Exactly what dude said.
You see me standing there, right?
That shit's crazy as fuck. That's it. Them niggas out. We out.
Go listen, let me tell you something. If a motherfucker don't believe, if they believe we the only beings on this planet, something is wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Because you can go back to way back in thousands of years ago, like these artifacts they got with all these aliens and shit that they done chipped in the walls and all that shit. Who built them pyramids?
Right.
All of that shit over there. You know, it ain't a machine that was built back then to even move that type of shit. They barely got that shit now.
We can't. We can't move some of that shit now.
Right, right. Some of that shit weight, they talking about 200 or 300 tons. We ain't got no machinery that move no shit like that. A crane ain't even gonna pick that shit up.
Yeah.
So it's just, man,
Well,
and a
I
lot of
showed
these
y'all
shit
what the
starting to come. A lot of it starting to appear right now, man.
Yeah.
Like with these fires and shit that's going on, you know, and all this smog and all this shit in New York going on and all of this shit. This chick,
Yeah,
they
what was
talking
you
about,
saying
it's
about that? We was
yeah,
talking about that earlier. We was talking about that earlier. You said a motherfucker was saying some shit about the red smoke
yeah, right. And they was saying
and all that
she
being over New York.
made a TikTok and she was like, I don't see how these people outside. Now she got a mask on. She said, I can't even breathe through this shit. But she was showing the camera and the sky was red. The sky was red. But they
Right.
trying to say go in the house. It's from fires. At the same time, she gets and pulls up some people over in Canada and they was
Oh,
like,
that
it
was
ain't
me.
shit over there.
That was me, Yaya, showing you it's that red is a circle around where the eyes are coming out of the alien being. I was just circling it so that you can see it a little better. I'm gonna show you again. I'm gonna bring it up so you'll see the red. That's why I put the red right there. See right there on where the eyes are at in this video. That's where the eyes come out. If you go back, you can see where the eyes. I was just dictating where the eyes are coming from that board. And you can see it moving. That's why they breaking.
Here's the
They
video.
only break because that motherfucker is moving. If that motherfucker wasn't moving, they wasn't gonna be running nowhere. They was getting out the way of that motherfucker moving toward them. You know what I'm saying? And that motherfucker was making movement. Nigga make movements. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you see when a black man run in a crowded place, everybody gonna run.
Everybody
Let
gonna
one
run too. I ain't
motherfucker
gonna
run. He could be shit just not black.
Right.
Yeah. So that motherfucker was moving. They was out. You know what I'm saying? Then they came back and stared where to go. But it took the police an hour to get to that motherfucker. So they was already gone. So there wasn't no wreckage. The motherfuckers just accidentally landed. You know what I'm saying? Missed their target where they were supposed to land at and landed in them people's backyard.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. But hey, I've been on here an hour low. I'm about to get off here, man. Good story.
All right, bro.
We have to
I'm
tell.
gonna hit you up,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
But hey, if y'all come back and look at
All
this
right.
shit, that man ain't lying. I seen that shit with my own eyes. I don't know what it was and still don't know to the day. Don't know what it was in his house. But Jay
What
Goob,
the
you
fuck
better
that
quit
shit was?
signaling for them motherfuckers or something. Or tell them motherfuckers to show us how to make gasoline for one of these motherfucking vehicles or something. Shit.
All right. They already giving us that technology.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Yeah. All right.
All
So
right,
we'll do
man.
another
Well,
one,
I'ma
Lo.
holler at you, bro.
I
I'ma
appreciate you
holler at
stopping through.
All right,
All right,
for sure.
You stay
All
up.
right, stay up. All right.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was it. Whistleblower, you know, giving up evidence. What we already knew about the government having crashed UFOs, dead pilots that come from them UFOs. We also got this youngster in Vegas, somebody landing in the backyard. You can clearly see it on the video that they got. They slowed it down because they was yelling like a motherfucker. I'm pretty sure a whole lot of people be yelling, hey, the shit that me and my nigga Low seen in his garage, he still got us fucked up. because we don't know what the fuck we seen. But we know a lot of shit is coming out. A lot of shit gonna be seen in the skies if you look up. Just look up. This has been another edition of the Goob Show. Representing, promoting this house. Shout out to all my niggas from the South. Appreciate the support. Hey, like, subscribe, join the channel. Until next time, I'm out of here.